Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. I know I don't want to sound like a broken record. We've heard all the other reviews already about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let's do a quick review, and then we'll talk about what we need to actually talk about. Starting up the game, I was initially pretty impressed with the world laid out before me, but I couldn't help but feel that we were being shorted once again by the lack of voice acting. Everything seemed so alive, and then yet so dry at the same time. My first few steps in the world felt kinda sluggish. Maybe I've grown impatient and I just want to sprint everywhere at all times in every kind of game, but I do have to remember that these games are made for new players as well. Once I was able to run, it felt a little bit better, but the glitches started. I was convinced that I was going to go with a fire type Fuecoco, but at the very last second, for reasons I'm not sure, I ended up picking the grass type Sprigatito. The first battle on the beach left me wanting more. Some of the NPCs standing doing absolutely nothing were even glitchy. I noticed that the game would shine when you were closer to the ocean and the beaches. It was a little bit more vibrant. One thing I've been getting tired of in Pokemon games is just like when you're just randomly walking and it's like, hey, there's a Pokeball on the ground. Hey, there's a potion here. I was like, in what real world would that be realistic? This is such a hold your hand experience. There's no challenge. Then I thought about it. Here on our planet, if you walk outside, you will find random items on the ground. And I was thinking, in the Pokemon world, well, people would probably litter stuff like Pokeballs and potions and things like that. Here on Earth, cigarettes, candy wrappers, junk. In the Pokemon world, it's gonna be trash that goes along with that world. So it made a little bit more sense and I was able to push past that. I came to a section in the cave where I could see it's somewhere I'm supposed to go, but there's an invisible wall for no reason at all. It made absolutely no sense. I came to a green wall in a cave and I literally couldn't believe I was playing a Switch OLED. It literally looks like something from a PlayStation 1. I've seen other people say that if the game starts getting laggy and the frame rate started getting out of hand, to just save your game, turn it off, and when you turn it back on, it will be better. And that did kind of work, but what an annoying thing to kind of have to do here. You can now sell bulk items, and that's a small feature I've kind of always thought that would be useful. You can't go into every single house anymore, which kind of seems to be moving backwards. Since the first games, it's always been fun to explore and go in each house and find out what was going on. The new gimmick, terrestrializing, is pretty cool, but it kind of feels a little pointless, like when you're a weak Pokemon, because you're still going to be weak. And I also feel like if it was something that would happen only to Pokemon level 40 and above, it would make it feel a little bit more exclusive and a little bit more special. The new setting of Paldea is big, but the cities feel empty, almost hollow. You may be saying, yeah, but it's a Nintendo game. How live can you want it to feel? Well, for example, look at New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey. The city feels alive and actually lived in. It makes you want to explore every crack and crevice. Battling is more or less the same feelings as games before, but that's not much of a bad thing, I guess. Again, going back to the NPCs, they almost seem zombie-like at sometimes. You may say, okay, Robot Joe, it looks like you've only played about an hour or two of the game. This is all you're going to show us? What more do I need to show you? I do not agree with what some people are saying about Gamefreak being lazy. I will say they are not lazy. They did do a lot in a year, 2 years at most. They are, however, impatient. This game was rushed. This is ambitious, and I do think it will be fun eventually. Yeah, it's not ready. We know that. Why is it out now? Well, because Black Friday is coming up and the holidays are right here, and this is what Nintendo has to do to sell the games and to sell merchandise. They rush the game out once again. If you were to build this game in 1 year, 2 years max, this is a lot. This is a really ambitious game to do in that 2 years. That's insane. But it's just not ready. There's no point for this game to be out. If they would have held this until next year, same time, November 2023, hopefully we have a new console, better hardware, more of the game would have been developed, we would have had what I would have said would have been one of the best Pokemon games and launches of all time, period. But that's where we're at here. My overall rating of this game, a 6 out of 10. And if I sound a little off, it's because I have the flu for the first time in my life. So yeah, bear with me. But you know me, I'll be back with a new video soon. Peace out.